I'm convinced that the Eagles' plans in the first round have yet to reveal themselves. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here. Oh, the draft is only a few weeks away. I cannot wait. And I gotta say, if you look at the Eagles and where they're at right now and everything they've done this offseason, it is a giant question mark. Giant question mark on what they're going to do in the first round. However, if we look at some things, are we going to see an Eagles team who is about to bail out in the first round? Could be. We'll have to see. But before we talk about all that, while everybody's concerned about the brotherly shove or the push-tush, whatever the hell you want to call it, and people are crying, they got to ban the play, the league should be on notice because Jeff Kirk posted something that was very interesting, and I don't want to talk about the whole thing again. Only thing I want to say is, if you take the play away from us, it's not going to make a difference. Look at this. First down conversion rate. The Eagles running the tush-push between 2022 and 2024, 91.3%. The Eagles running quarterback sneaks in 2021, 92.9%. It's Jalen Hurts and him being able to squat 600 pounds. That's going to make the difference. Having the best line in football is going to make the difference. This is why they can't stop us. No, man, no. But I will say this. The next time you're the Eagles and you're playing Green Bay and you're Saquon Barkley and you're about to break open a big run to rub it in, do not slide and take a knee. You keep going and you put that shit up their ass. You know what I'm saying? Run it up on Green Bay. I hate the Packers. Hate them. And we should never, ever, ever be gentlemen when it comes to the Packers. I'm just saying. All right? Also, got to talk about this. This broke the other day. Breaking, the NFL is updating its uniform policy to allow teams to wear throwback or alternate uniforms up to 4 times per season. How about that? 4 times of Kelly Green. Oh, I wish. I honestly don't think we're going to see the Eagles run Kelly Green more than twice. I think what you'll see is with the extra time, it's going to be the black jersey, black helmet. So I think we'll get 2 black helmets and then 2 Kelly Green games. I think that's what it's going to be. But, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Now, the Eagles had another visit scheduled, this time with a defensive tackle, Shamar Turner of Texas A&M. He's supposed to be a day 2, day 3 selection. And this kind of gets into my point of what I wanted to talk about in this video. If you look at the Eagles in recent years, except for the Andre Dillard draft and the Devontae Smith draft where they didn't do visits because of what was going on at the time, the Eagles always bring in their picks for a visit. And if you look, okay, and we look at the prospects the Eagles have brought in so far, right? And here's a list. This doesn't have Turner on there. However, we know he's on there and he's scheduled to go between rounds 2 and round 3. But when you look at this list, right, and this is what I'm wondering. When you look at this list, how many legitimate first-round picks are on this list? Aladeo, Jackson, Grant, Jadon Blue, Tyler Barron, I can't even pronounce it, Ezeraku, can't pronounce his last name at Boston College. Perhaps he's a first-round pick. Perhaps he'll slip in. Perhaps Maxwell Harrison will slip into the first round. But if you look at these picks that are visits so far, there's no first-round picks here. You know what I mean? Where's Malachi Starks? Where's Nick Amenwari? You know what I mean? Where's Walter Nolan? They're not there. They're not there. What does that mean? One, and it could mean several things. One, it could mean the Eagles are looking to trade out. And they're bringing in guys that they think are going to be there in the second and the third. Maybe guys that fall out of the first round and maybe be there early second. Maybe they're going to trade out, and maybe that's what they're going to do. Now, the Eagles usually don't trade back. They usually trade up in the first round. The other thing, and the reason I kind of don't buy this, is because the Eagles tend to be aggressive at different points. Like, if they're very aggressive in free agency, a lot of times they're not as aggressive in the draft. When they're very aggressive in the draft, sometimes they haven't been as aggressive in free agency. Last year, it just worked out to a situation on the first day where Quinyon Mitchell pretty much fell to us because of the way the draft fell, and then we were able to get up and trade up in the second round to get Cooper DeJean. But I can't see the Eagles being so unaggressive in this free agency and then go into the draft and look to not be aggressive and not do anything. So what I think is happening here is I think the Eagles on purpose are keeping some of the first rounders that will be going and having visits. I think they're purposely keeping them till later in the draft process. Maybe to keep teams guessing on what they're going to do or how it's going to play out. But I see a lot of these guys that they're bringing in for visit on this list. I see these guys as second, third rounders, fourth rounders. I don't see them as first round picks, meaning the Eagles haven't been bringing in the top prospects yet. And there's a reason. Could all of the talking that they did at the combine with the safeties, because they talked to the safeties more than any other position, could that be where they're going to go? I don't know. Inside the Bird, shout out to them. They just put out podcasts talking about the safeties. And all I can say is my guy's on there. My guy who they talk about in glowing fashion. I'll put the link in the description. Shout out to them. Go listen to that episode. They talk about my guy in major fashion, Nick Amon-Wari. And we're going to talk about him more in later videos because I'm going to make a big pitch for him for the Eagles. Because I know how he's listening. Well, I know how he's listening. I'm going to make my pitch for Nick Amon-Wari because I think that's the spot. I think you got to go safety. What I expect the Eagles to do is I expect the Eagles to trade up in the first round. I'll be shocked. I'm going to tell you, I would be shocked if they don't trade up. But when you look at this list, there's none of these guys are guys that you have to trade up for. None of these guys are going to be off the board, I don't believe. Maybe one guy, maybe two is off the board when you pick at 32. I don't know. I think they're looking at these guys here who they brought in so far. I think these are second round picks, third round picks, fourth round picks. I think that's what they're looking at. I do not believe they're looking at their top prospects in the first round. The question is why. Are they trying to throw teams off? Or are they waiting to bring in the top prospects later as we get closer into the draft? Which I think that's what they're going to do. I think as we get closer to the draft, I think you'll see the Malachi Starks show up, the Nick Amon-Waris, the Walter Nolans. I think you'll start to see that later. But right now, we're not seeing it. And if we judge the Eagles by history, they usually draft somebody who they brought in for a visit. That's what they normally usually do. And if you look at this list right now, these are not round one picks. Okay, these are not guys you trade up for to go out and get a first round pick. So it tells me two things. It tells me a couple things. One, they either haven't brought those guys in, they already know who they're going after, which to me, I think that's a good chance of a safety because they talked to the safeties at the combine, and they might have felt like that was enough at the combine, and they don't want to give it away. Because look, every team looks at which other teams' players are being brought in. There are times where, I'll never forget when the Eagles brought in Dontari Poe. I think Poe came out the same draft as Fletcher Cox. The Eagles brought Dontari Poe in to throw teams off, and teams were literally worried the Eagles were going to draft him, and they wind up taking him early because everybody thought the Eagles were going to take him. But the Eagles were like, they brought him in to fool the rest of the teams. They always had wanted Fletcher Cox, and that was their guy. So sometimes they do things to throw you off. But if you look at this list is not. There's nobody that stands on this list that go, oh yeah, if you take Donovan Jackson, Ohio State offensive guard, with 32, you're gonna understand that pick. No. There's maybe 2 first-round picks on here. Maybe guys that will rise into the first round. I think. I don't think they're taking any of these guys in the first round. So they're either haven't brought in their first round prospects yet. They already know who they want, or they may be looking to trade out. It's something we have to consider and watch out. But this list right here is really interesting because I expect the Eagles to be very, very aggressive in the draft. I think they're going to trade up multiple times. I think they're going to go after specific players. I think they're going to look for first-round starters, okay, in the first round. I think they want guys who are going to come in and start, just like they had the success with Q. So the question is are they going to bring that guy in or are they not? Because the list we have right now, to me, is underwhelming in terms of top prospects. Guys you would want to trade up for in the first round. Hey, anything could happen. We'll see. But my guess is, if I had to guess, I would guess that in coming weeks, as we get closer to draft, we'll see bigger names start to show up on these lists. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how I vision. We're all just living in it. So just a quick reminder that right now, the Jalen Hurts Main Thing shirts, MVP, they are flying right now. We just got some more t-shirts in. We still have hoodies. We also got the premium one. Everybody's been liking that. So I just want to let you guys know, in the description, if you're down, if you want to get this piece of history, you still have time because they're still available, and definitely don't miss out. These are my favorite merchandise that we have done. And listen, I haven't even gotten mine yet, okay? Because they've been going so fast with people buying them that I haven't even got mine yet. I'm gonna have to wait. But everybody loves it, so check it out. Denzel Washington, out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.